Good morning and a very warm welcome to the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. As always, we're coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Well, it is a brand new week, and as always, we have the details of all the top stories from here at home and around the world. Let's start off this morning's bulletin with sports news. India emerged champions of the Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament, defeating Pakistan by 5 wickets in the final. Now, this marks India's 9th Asia Cup title. The final, held at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium, drew significant attention even before it began. The venue, which accommodates around 25,000 spectators, was nearly filled to capacity. Winning the toss, Indian captain opted to bowl first. Now, notably, the captains of India and Pakistan did not shake hands after the toss this time either. Pakistan's opening duo Farhan and Zaman built a strong opening stand of 84 runs of 58 deliveries for the first wicket. Farhan scored 57 runs off 38 balls, including 3 sixes and 5 boundaries, while Zaman contributed 46 runs off 35 deliveries. Zaman then partnered with Saim Ayub for a 29-run stand for the second wicket. However, following Zaman's dismissal, Pakistan's momentum faltered as they lost their last 8 wickets for just 33 runs. Kuldeep Yadav produced an excellent spell, claiming 4 wickets, while Jasprit Bumrah, Varun Chakravarti and Aksar Patel each picked up 2 wickets apiece. Now, Pakistan were eventually bowled out for 146 runs. Chasing a target of 147, India faced early trouble as their top order collapsed to 20 for 3. Sanju Samson and Tilak Varma steadied the innings with a 57-run partnership for the 4th wicket. Samson scored 24 while Shivam Dubey added 33 runs. Varma played a match-winning knock, remaining unbeaten on 69 runs, which included 4 sixes and 3 boundaries. India reached the target in 19.4 overs with 5 wickets down to secure the title. Now, however, in an unusual turn of events, the Indian team refused to accept the Asia Cup trophy from Mohsin Naqvi, who serves as both the chairman of the Asian Cricket Council and the chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board. Instead, the Indian players celebrated their victory without the trophy. The 2025 Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament, which commenced on the 9th of September, was broadcast live on TV1, the official local broadcasting rights holder of the tournament, and streamed on www.sirasatv.lk. Similarly, all matches of the upcoming ICC Women's Cricket World Cup starting tomorrow can also be watched live on TV1 and online via www.sirasatv.lk. Now, following India's cricket victory over Pakistan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi referred to Operation Sindoor, describing it as a significant achievement for the nation. In a statement, the Prime Minister highlighted that the victory was one of the positive outcomes and represented a triumph for India. He also extended his best wishes to the Indian cricket team. In yesterday's thrilling final, India defeated arch-rivals Pakistan by 5 wickets. Now, Operation Sindoor, of course, refers to India's military action carried out against Pakistan in response to the recent terrorist attack that took place in Pahalgam. Let's move on to local news this morning. President Anurukumara Dissanayake is on his 3rd day of his official visit to Japan today. Yesterday, the president met with members of the Sri Lankan community in Tokyo. During the course of the visit, President Dissanayake is scheduled to meet Emperor Naruhito of Japan. He is also expected to hold bilateral discussions with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba and several other senior ministers. In addition, President Dissanayake will participate in the Sri Lanka Investment Forum in Tokyo, organized jointly by the Sri Lanka and Japan Chambers of Commerce. Well, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that one of the government's objectives in the forthcoming education reforms is to create eco-friendly schools and environmentally conscious children. She made these remarks yesterday at the opening of the Moon Museum, established within the Royal Botanic Gardens in Peradeniya, which took place under her patronage. The museum was inaugurated in commemoration of Alexander Moon, the founder of the Therunee Royal Botanic Gardens. Its purpose is to conserve endangered plant species and their parts, while also disseminating scientific knowledge related to them. The museum features sections highlighting the history and evolution of botanic gardens in Sri Lanka, plantation agriculture, international trade and its contribution to the agricultural sector, floriculture and garden aesthetics, garden management, plant conservation and its importance. Addressing the event, Prime Minister Surya emphasized that the nation requires not only different leaders but also a transformed public in order to move towards development. She said this transformation should result in a community that values and protects nature, and that achieving such a change calls for a national revival and a strong transformation process. She further explained that this transformation would take place gradually, with school children playing a vital role at its foundation. Meanwhile, Minister of Public Security Anand Vijaypala says that a system will be introduced to promote police officers every year. He said promotions will be granted based on seniority, performance and examinations and will depend on existing vacancies. Minister Anand Vijaypala noted that there are about 30,000 vacancies in police and special task force, and approval has been granted for recruitment. Interviews are currently underway and the first batch of recruits is scheduled to enter police academies by December. And in more local news, the Valana Anti-Corruption Unit says that member of the Dehivala Mount Lavinia Municipal Council, Amal Silva, who is in custody, has been handed over to the Pinbatta police for further investigations. Police say that the suspect is scheduled to be produced before court. He was arrested yesterday for possessing 3 luxury jeeps valued at over 60 million rupees, allegedly imported illegally and registered under forged documents. Amal Silva is also a former member of the Western Provincial Council. Well, Thriposha production in Sri Lanka has been temporarily suspended. The Sri Lanka Thriposha company announced that the suspension was due to the unavailability of maize required for its production. Cabinet approval had earlier been granted to import 18,000 metric tons of maize for Thriposha production. However, the Controller General of Imports and Exports has presented amendments to the approval. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Thriposha Limited, Amal Attanayaka, stated that until the new cabinet paper, inclusive of these amendments, is presented to the cabinet on the 7th and receives approval, the maize importation has been halted. As a result, production of Thriposha has been on hold since the 21st of September. The chairman further noted that once maize imports resume after the 7th of October, Thriposha production will return to normal. He added that the stocks already produced are currently being distributed across the island. The National Dengue Control Unit has announced that the number of dengue patients reported from 9 districts has increased. Community medical specialist Dr. Prashila Samaravira of the National Dengue Control Unit says that a total of 38,764 dengue patients have been reported from across the island during the recent period. Now, 10 deaths due to leptospirosis, commonly known as rat fever, has been reported from the Anuradhapura district during the course of this year. Consultant epidemiologist Dr. Tejana Somathilaka says that on average, nearly 300 cases of rat fever are reported annually from this district. Now, how exactly does rat fever spread? The disease is transmitted when water contaminated with urine from infected rodents enters the human body through wounds or cuts on the skin. And what are the symptoms? The symptoms of rat fever include redness of the eyes, fever, reduced urination, severe headaches and muscle pain. The Ministry of Health has urged the public to seek immediate hospital treatment if such symptoms appear. Let's move on to our weather forecast for today. The Met Department says that several spells of showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Gaul, Mathura, Kandy and Nure Elia districts. A few showers may also occur in the northwestern province. Showers or thunder showers are likely at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara district after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds of about 35 to 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north north-central, northwestern and central provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. With that, let's move on to news overseas for this morning. Russia launched hundreds of drones and missiles at Kiev and other parts of Ukraine early on Sunday, killing at least 4 people and injuring dozens in one of the most sustained attacks on the capital since the full-scale war began. Neighboring Poland closed its airspace near 2 southeastern cities, and its air force scrambled jets in response until the danger had passed. Ukraine's military said that Russia launched 595 drones and 48 missiles overnight, and its air defenses shot down 568 drones and 43 missiles. It noted that the main target of the strike was the capital, Kiev. President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the attack, which lasted more than 12 hours, killed 4 people, including a child, with 2 of the deaths occurring at a Kiev cardiology clinic. He said 80 people were injured in the strikes, and factories, residential buildings and energy-generating sites were also damaged. Russia's defense ministry said on Sunday it had carried out a massive attack on Ukraine using long-range air and sea-based weapons and drones to target military infrastructure, including airfields. And in more international news, allow me to shift your attention to the United States. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said on Sunday he ordered 200 Oregon National Guard troops to be deployed under federal authority, while the state filed a lawsuit challenging President Trump's move to send military forces into a Democratic-run city of Portland. The Republican president on Saturday announced plans to send troops into Portland, saying they would be used to protect federal immigration facilities against quote-unquote domestic terrorists, and that he was authorizing them to use full force if necessary. Trump's deployments of military forces into other municipalities led by Democrats, including Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., have spurred legal challenges as well as protests. Oregon's suit was filed against Trump, Hegseth and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in federal court in Portland on Sunday by Democratic Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield. The suit accused Trump of exceeding his powers. And that's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. Thank you for joining us today. Do join us tomorrow as well for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.